પરમ કૃપાળુ દેવના આદેશ અને આશીર્વાદથી ખાસ કરીને યંગસ્ટર્સ માટે એમની ભાષામાં ઇંગ્લિશમાં શ્રી આત્મસિદ્ધિ શાસ્ત્રનો જ્ઞાન યજ્ઞ academically, spiritually, and emotionally. Today, I'll be taking 4 topics. Tomorrow, 5 topics. So today I'll be talking on the need to study Atma Siddhi, I would suggest everyone to write in rough for 3 days. You get the grip, you grasp how I'll be teaching, and then you start writing in your fair books. So first topic, the need to study Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra. Minimum 145 hours. 142 plus whatever I do these 2 days, and I don't know what I'll be doing on the last day, last session. So you'll be spending 145 hours plus the pujans, plus the quizzes, plus the exams. So why? Why the need of Sri Atma Siddhi, to study Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra? Number 2, the inspiration behind the composition of Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra. Just write inspiration. Third, the occasion itself, Asavadekam and Nadyad. And fourth, the worthy receivers of the first copy of this Shastra. 4 topics I'll be taking today. Tomorrow, the name, the title, Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra, the subject matter of the text, the style of the text, vivechans and translations, and explaining the Mangalacharan itself, Patita Jana Pavani. And then we start with the first stanza, first verse on Wednesday. So the first, what is the need to study the text, Sri Atma Siddhi Shastra, scripture, the poem, whatever. Let's see, final શું તમારા અંતરમાં આવે છે. Let's see. So my first question to you all is, are you living or are you existing? So we start from there. Are you living or are you just existing? So what do I mean by living and by existing? In life, we are confronted with choices. Every step, we have to make a choice. Whether you have to make a decision of eating, clothing, anything. So in life, we are confronted with choices. But there is always a fear in making choices. Hope this does not turn wrong. I'm scared. People use the word. I'm scared to make a decision. There is always a constant fear. So we hesitate to make a choice. So we don't make a choice. Because we hesitate, because of fear we hesitate. Because we hesitate, we don't make choice. We always want to, okay, delay, postpone, whatever. Thus we don't move forward. This I call as just existing, not living, because you're not moving forward. Why? Because you're not making the right choices. With every sunset, one day of life is gone. You may enjoy the sunset from here, but you have to realize one precious day of your life is gone with every sunset. We should move forward and not just remain existing like a stone. Stone ત્યાં ને ત્યાં જ રહેશે. You cannot move. We can. Okay, we make a wrong choice. We make mistakes. We learn from it. With a deeper understanding, we'll get the knack of making the right choices. I understand at this level, all your choices are not going to be right. It's okay, make a decision, take a decision. It might be wrong. Obviously, see that it does not cost your whole life. Some fools will say, okay, then I made it today. And they make such a decision, whole life is finished. So make a decision. You might commit a mistake. Learn from the mistake. Deepen your understanding. And get the knack of making the right decisions. This is life. The easiest rule is to follow, live up to your convictions. The easiest rule is to live up to your convictions. Make your decisions, your choices in line of your conviction, not against your conviction. Why? Because conviction gives the power, the fuel, the supply to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Conviction. Have I made myself clear? See, life is a piece of art. It can be chiseled, it can be shaped, it can be polished. But by our own careful self-effort. Don't use the word grace right now. Life can be chiseled, life can be shaped, life can be polished by your own careful self-effort. Every moment we have a choice whether to create this thought or destroy this thought. Every moment we have a choice. Last moment we had a choice, we created a wrong thought. Again, this moment we have a choice whether to destroy it or create another thought in that direction. But every moment we have a choice to either create or destroy a thought. The problem is we have put value in everything, every person, every place, everything, every arrangement, every situation we have put a value according to the convictions in our intellect. બેજામાં બુદ્ધિમાં જે કન્વિક્શન નિર્ધાર થયો છે એના આધારે વસ્તુ વ્યક્તિ પરિસ્થિતિમાં આપણે વેલ્યુ ભરી છે. We have put a value in everything according to the convictions in the intellect. And that becomes the direction of a life. See, I'm going around conviction. Conviction gives the power, conviction gives the supply, conviction gives the fuel, conviction gives you the direction of life. Very few live. Everyone exists, but very few live. The whole purpose of studying this text is we want to live. We want to move forward. And one should have an ideal, of course, but due to the poverty of intellectual convictions, means false and imaginary ones, we are scared to live according to our convictions, so we live according to others' ideas. બાપા તમે શું કહો છો? આની સાથે લગ્ન કરી લો. બાપા તમે શું કરો છો? આ કોલેજમાં જાઓ, આ યુનિવર્સિટીમાં જાઓ. You are scared of your conviction. That fear, instead of being convinced yourself with your own self-effort, in the name of guidance, you actually want to live according to others' ideas. Chalo, guidance ma Sadguru hoy to okay, fine. At least it's going to turn out right. What are you doing? How are they doing? So you tend to live according to others because you are seeing this fellow is quite confident of his decision. So let me also do that. That fellow is successful. So let me do. You are not realizing that you are living according to others' ideas. No doubt, knowledge does come from outside. Knowledge does come from outside, from a person or from books. We are studying a text for knowledge. No doubt, knowledge does come out from the other, may it be person or books. But once the idea is absorbed and assimilated in your system, it is yours. So, listen, read, understand the higher life through your independent thinking. Take your time. Read, listen, and understand your individual thinking. Let the scriptures guide you, but take your own time. Build your own conviction. Take your own time and build your own conviction, even if it's regarding the existence of soul. The first part, whatever. Take your own time, but build your conviction. And then the Lord will enrich you with the heroism to live by it. Die, if necessary, for your conviction. Because conviction is the most sacred thing for a rational man. The most sacred thing for a rational man is his own conviction. Try to understand how I'm leading you. Success depends on the direction of life, and the direction life depends on your conviction, and the conviction should be yours. Let the scriptures guide you, let the Guru guide you, take your own time in building your conviction, but that conviction should be yours. There is no place of blind faith in the path of spirituality. Very clear. So this 145 hours. Otherwise, if I had to just give an agna, it would take me 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Do this. Don't do this. Over. Oh, I finished in 30 seconds. But that's not what Param Kripaludev wants. It should be your conviction. Say, I believe in Atma. I believe in moksha. I believe this is the path to liberation. So desirers are beggars in the world. The one who desires are beggars. And we have to come out of the womb of ignorance and take a new birth. So 9 months. આમાં તો એવું છે કે પ્રીમેચ્યોર ડિલિવરી પણ નહીં થાય, 9 months તો લાગશે જ. કોઈક વાર એક ફોર્ટનાઇટ વધુ ખેંચાઈ જાય એવું બને. So that will be exactly 9.5 months. Premature delivery nahi thai, otherwise we'll have to leave Upsamhar. So we have to take a new birth. We have to come out of this womb of ignorance, which is the cause of all fancies, means all desires, which makes us beggars and at the mercy of situations. Victims. We have to take a new birth. And just don't gaze, as I said yesterday, just don't gaze and appreciate at others' virtues. I'm saying don't stop there. You have to. But just don't gaze and don't appreciate and stop there, seeing others' virtues. You need to develop a noble personality within you. If not a divine personality, at least a noble personality. Mumukshuta, if not Gnani Dasha. When I say divine personality, I mean Gnani Dasha. But I'm saying, if not that, at least a noble personality, Atmarthipanu, will be doing all that, or Mumukshupanu, or this true seeker of self-realization or of liberation. Just don't gaze. So when I was doing the pujan, Prabhu, Param Kripaludev, Tamara jevi dasha to haji, I'm not fit to even aspire right now. Then I went to Ambalal Bhai and said, Tamara jetla baniye ne, so bhi bas. At least noble personality bhi kelvi shakya to bas. But etlu to bani shachu. I'm going to start cultivating from today. If not the divine personality, at least a noble personality. And all the characteristics and all we'll be studying in the next yagna. Life, when I said, are you existing or are you living? So living is moving forward. Dynamic action. A life of dynamic action is always superior than a passive, slothful inaction. A life of dynamic action is always superior than a life of passive, slothful inaction, idleness, laziness, living according to your whims and fancy. negligence, indisciplined life. A life of dynamic action is always superior. If you do not live a life of dynamic action, it's a misery to yourself. Or you can say it's a tragedy to the community, or a liability to the nation. A life lived with, or an idle life, is misery to himself, a tragedy to the community, and a liability to the nation. We are not born to revel in idleness. If we live an idle life, life will whip you. Pramadi resho, so life is going to whip you. We have to evolve to a state of joy, where there is dynamic action, but inner calm and connection. સેવામય જીવન અને છતાં સાધનામય અંતઃકરણ. Dynamic action with that inner calm and peace, equipoise. To drag yourself through a life, idle life, is painful, unproductive existence and nothing more. I am not talking about existing, I want to talk on living. The Lord has given us this inner equipment. What is the inner equipment? What is the outer equipment? What is the inner equipment? Outer equipment is a human body, human form. Inner equipment is man buddhi. I'm not saying the karmas have given us. I'm saying the Lord has given us. This inner equipment. See, physically our evolution is complete when you take a human form. When you were an amoeba, it was different. You were not complete physically. When you became a worm, an insect, a fly, bird, animal, physically you are not evolved to perfection. Human form. So physically, externally, we have evolved to fullest, perfection. But as we grow, we start neglecting that inner equipment and then get clogged into false values, imaginary contentment. બહુ મજા છે. અચાનક રસ્તામાં પૂછ્યું કેમ છો? મજામાં છો. But don't you think it's imaginary? False values. Your mind and intellect, as we grow, your inner equipment, your mind, your intellect gets clogged into false values. You all must be understanding this better. School, mati, universities, magaya. You started neglecting how your mind should be, how your intellect should work. Just ready to fulfill any fancy which passes by, any desire which passes by. Slowly, your mind and intellect gets clogged. It's becoming harder and harder to take a decision now, with such a wonderful equipment of mind and intellect. Right? Every time, I'm not sure. Affair chalto hai 10 varasnu, 10 years, still you will say, I'm not sure. because your mind and intellect is clogged. And we neglect that inner equipment. Retuning this equipment is a spiritual life. So simple. Retuning this mind and intellect according to the guidance of a Sadguru. This retuning of this inner equipment is a spiritual life. Externally, it will be considered as a religious life. Internally, it will be considered as a spiritual life. તમે જાણશો કે અધ્યાત્મ છે, પણ લોકો તો તમારા ડૂઝ એન્ડ ડોન્ટ્સ જ જોશે ને. પહેલા રાતના નહોતા ખાતા, હવે ખાતા હતા, હવે નથી ખાતા. બહુ રિલિજિયસ થઈ ગયા છે. So the world will perceive you as a religious person. A Sadguru will judge you by your spirituality, your motive, your sincerity, your perseverance. So I said spiritual life, because what matters is what the Guru is going to perceive, not what the world is going to perceive. So this is a spiritual life, yeah. So one phase of evolution is complete when you took birth as a human being. Now you need to go to the next level of evolution. That is at the level of mind and intellect. This program of progress is called spirituality. This program of retuning your mind and intellect, purifying, etc. This lap of evolution is called spirituality. So just imagine millions and trillions of spermatozoa and ova are produced in the world. Millions and trillions. Very few unite to create a human being. So this chance of being a human is so rare. Physical perfection attained. Next lap awaits. So here is the need to study this text. Because the next program, the next lap of evolution of the inner equipment is awaiting. Till then you won't attain perfection. So to fulfill your ideas, your vision, to translate it into actions and reality, perseverance જોઈશે. You are going to meet a lot of challenges on this route. The path of success never spreads carpets. It's never a bed of roses. Lot of challenges which you have not even visualized. So, personal discipline is absolutely needed. You can't fulfill every desire, every fancy which comes by. જે જે ઈચ્છા થાય, mood જાગે, and you want to fulfill them, you are only going to become a slave of your mind. And a slave only has to struggle, he can never succeed. Why I'm saying this? Personal discipline is needed. Start taming yourself. according to the program or according to the system indicated by a Sadguru. I am not using the word Agna right now. I have not started the text. You need to tame yourself from now. In disciplined life, nahi chale. When you should wake up, what you should do before that, or on waking up, sorry. From the smallest to what do you want to do for your spiritual progress every day. Everything. No place for moods, desires, fancies, whims, nothing. You need, if you want to progress in this program, you need to discipline yourself. You need to start taming yourself right now. And if you can do, it is a guaranteed path that you will come out of your mental cloud. Guaranteed path. You will come out of the mental cloud in which you are lurking now. So lead a life of self-discipline. You'll start to make progress in the right direction. Got it? If you want to succeed spiritually, then only. We are quite foolish, I feel. Because we are looking for water in a desert. Poor desert. If it had, it would give. The desert is not rude. If it had, it would give. But it does not have, it only has mirage. It does not have water. It is not the desert's fault. It is your fault because you are looking for water in the wrong place. You got it? I am using the word poor desert. You are looking for happiness in the world. It's not the fault of the world. If it had, it would surely give you. It's not the fault of the world. It is your fault. You are finding something which is not there. Be clear. It is your fault. Don't condemn, criticize, blame the world when you fail. Because it's not the fault of the desert. It's the fault of the person looking for water in the desert where there is no water. જો ગુજરાતીમાં કહું તો અરીસામાં મુખ ને સંસારમાં સુખ છે નહીં, દેખાય છે. અરીસા એટલે મિરર, મુખ એટલે ફેસ. I forgot it is for the beginners and everything I need to translate in English. અરીસામાં મુખ અને સંસારમાં સુખ છે નહીં, દેખાય છે. Got it? We are really foolish seeing the world, the forever changing world, constantly changing world as real and permanent. કેમ તું હવે મને પ્રેમ નથી કરતો? Because I am a part of the world and the world is ever changing. You can't ask this question. આજે એટલી ઠંડી કેમ નથી તે દિવસ જેટલી? Because you are living in a world which is forever changing. So foolish to consider the world real and permanent. And considering one more considering yourself as a limited entity. તું જીવ છો જ નહીં, તું શિવ છો. તું આત્મા છો જ નહીં, તું પરમાત્મા છો. But let's not touch that part right now. એ તો બધું આવશે પછી આગળ. શુદ્ધ બુદ્ધ ચૈતન્ય ગણ સ્વયં જ્યોતિ સુખધામ સાથે ગાશું આપણે. Because by that time, કર વિચારતો પામ, you all will be shouting with me કે હું સચી નથી, હું ઋષભ નથી, હું વ્યોમ નથી, હું શુદ્ધ બુદ્ધ ચૈતન્ય ઘન છું. So aren't we really foolish to see the world, the forever changing world? Okay, one badha we should take, never ask why it changed. This badha you can take. Because you are living in the world, and you all will say together, which is forever changing. You don't like such a world? Then go within. Right about turn, go with it. You'll get something very, very permanent. No insecurities, no uncertainties. If you want to live in the world, be ready for uncertainties. Don't get insecure in that. Because you are living in the world which is forever changing, thus not real, not permanent. If you seek happiness outside in the world, you are never going to find satisfaction because you are in an illusion. More comfort means more happiness. This is an illusion. More comfort is equal to more happiness is an illusion. એક તો forever changing world માં છે. બીજું illusion માં છે. પછી અનંત દુઃખ ન થાય તો શું થાય? આમ જે સ્વરૂપ સમજાવીને પામ્યો દુઃખ અનંત, બીજું થાય શું તારું? એક તો you are living in a forever changing world, and second you are in an illusion. More comforts. Who over here is in that illusion? Okay, થોડી comforts વધારે હોય તો I would be happier. See, after so many satsangs, haji that conviction of yours has not changed. Atma Siddhi Shastra will do it. Of course, the world looked from a distorted vision. Obviously. એ જ તો કરવાના છે સદગુરુ. ચક્ષુરુન્મિલિતમ યેન તસ્મૈ શ્રી ગુરુદેવ. એ ગુરુદેવને નમસ્કાર જેને મારા ચક્ષુ ખોલ્યા. I was seeing the world and the self through a distorted vision. મિથ્યા દ્રષ્ટિ. અને એ ચક્ષુ ખોલી આપ્યા, દ્રષ્ટિ સમ્યક કરી આપી એવા મારા ગુરુદેવને નમસ્કાર. So prosperity with no peace is actually a calamity. Very, very gruesome and very, very terrible. Prosperity છે, peace નથી. It's a calamity. A terrible thing which can happen to you. And we are so caught in that we don't lend our ears to the thundering truths declared by the wise people, the wise ones, the enlightened ones. Thundering truths declared by them. But we are so caught up in the web, we don't lend our ears. અરે સત્સંગ પ્રેમ જાગ્યો છે ને, you're fortunate or lucky or blessed. At least you're going to lend your ears for 145, yeah. 145 hours. કેટલું absorb કરી શકો is another thing. You have to decide how much you want to absorb and assimilate in your system. But at least you are lending your ears out of your own conviction. Yesterday only I was telling someone, the greatest joy of this world also has a touch of sorrow. Prabhu has written it in Bhavna Bodh. બધામાં ભય છે, દુઃખ છે. The greatest joy of the world. Where's Sachi? The other Sachi, yeah. So I was telling when we were in the function, right? I was telling Ashwin, the greatest joy of the world also has a touch of sorrow. તમે જ વિચારી જુઓ ને, ફંક્શન પૂરું થયું હશે પછી પહેલાં જ વિચાર્યું હશે, આમ થયું હોત તો આમ ના થયું હોત, આમ કર્યું હોત તો આમ ના કર્યું હોત. All the great joy you attained was with a touch of sorrow. લક્ષ્મી, અધિકાર, પરિવાર. છોકરો નથી થતો, છોકરો થાય. છોકરો નહીં થયો, ટ્વિન્સ થયા. Greatest joy, right? Twins, તો it's joy, no? આમ બે નાના નાના ગલુડિયા હોય. That is also with the touch of sorrow. I don't want all these twins, but I just want to get rid of the pain, suffering, which is going to be forgotten in 9 months. The greatest joy of the world, તારી fancy car પણ ડફા, has a touch of sorrow. If you don't agree, I'll tell Kirtan to go and scratch it. That little fear is always there. કોઈ out of negligence, કે out of jealousy, કે out of some sudden calamity or something. આનું કાંઈ નથી. So the greatest joy of the world also has a touch of sorrow. So there's always going to be that insecurity, that fear, that uncertainty, that will always be there. And life is going to be a tragedy if you're going to only pursue this. We are actually caught in this flow. We move with it. We can drag our lives with it. We can age with it and die in time. આવા કોઈ ના મળે ને તો એકચ્યુઅલી આવી રીતે જિંદગી, હા સ્ટડી કરો, પછી સારી છોકરી જોઈને એને પરણાવી દો, પછી કે વાવ એક્સપેક્ટિંગ, પછી એનું ટાબરું, આમ કરીને ઓલ્ડ એજ એન્ડ વી ડાય ઇન ટાઈમ. You are almost forgotten in your lifetime only. Forget after death. Because we are caught in this flow. And we call it responsibilities. Fake. હું એક ઘરની શું કહેવાય એની પ્રભાવના કરીશ. તમારી બધી રિસ્પોન્સિબિલિટીઝ એમાં નાખવાની. અટેચમેન્ટ ઉપર રહી જશે અને સાચી રિસ્પોન્સિબિલિટીઝ નીચે. Let's see how much comes out as a responsibility. Life just passes by without even inquiring about the nature of the world, nature of the self, nature of God. These are the three fundamentals of metaphysics: Jagat, Jeev, Jagdish. Metaphysics or any philosophy is around these three things: Jagat, Jeev, Jagdish. Nature of the world, nature of the self, nature of God. Life passes by without even inquiring about all these three. What is the world? Who am I? What is the nature of myself? What is the nature of God? Is He going to do everything or I have to do? Is grace going to do, or there is something like your own self-effort, which we talked at around 10. You are not even inquiring what is the purpose of life? What is the higher purpose of life? Sleeping, eating, enjoying, खाए, पी, ने मौज करो. So what is the higher purpose? Your life passed, your whole youth passes. And you're yet not even inquired, you're not even clear about the higher life or the purpose of life, say. Higher, why I'm saying, because self-realization is optional. For people, self-realization is a hobby. Religion is a hobby. So I'm saying, okay, then purpose of higher purpose of life. I would like to say the purpose of your existence only. What is the purpose of your existence? I hope you know, human life is given to you unasked. Unasked. તમે માંગ્યું બી નહોતું ને તમે મનુષ્ય થઈ ગયા. તમને ખબર બી નહોતું અને તમે મનુષ્ય થઈ ગયા. So human birth has been given to you and you are blasting it in 1,000 different ways. Wasting it. There is a purpose, definite and sure, in each and everyone's arrival here. There is a purpose which is definite and sure. It's how fast you identify that. There is a purpose. You got the human form unasked. You blasted it in 1,000 things. But there is a definite purpose, a sure purpose in our arrival here. એટલે તો I had said that religion is a challenging call to dynamic living. And when I meant dynamic living, means living and not just existing. Life's beauty depends on the very foundation around which it is built. Why we need to make our foundation strong? Because life is going to be built around those foundations. You want to be a millionaire? So this is the way. You want to be this, you want to be a self-realized soul. So what foundation na adhare life is going to be with itself. So the beauty of life is the foundation. If the foundation is false, your life is going to prove no better than a castle of cards. Pattano Mahal. Pattana Mahal jevu lagse. What now? I have everything in life. But there's yet that emptiness within. It's going to prove as a castle of cards. If the foundations are false, then the direction, then the whole effort, everything is going to. So don't flounder on flimsy things and passing fancies. That's not your purpose. We have to learn to expand and experience the inner grandeur. That's the purpose. ચલો આટલા ટાઈમ સુધી પૌનો કલાકમાં 45 મિનિટ્સમાં at least we came to a right purpose. I will now not say higher purpose because there is nothing like lower purpose only for us. This is the purpose. For the world, there may be a higher purpose and a lower purpose, but for us, the blessed ones, this is the only purpose.